You remember from episode 1, I am member of the Alliance 3 army, but no teammate is on map 14. So I am alone against PRIMOS, the alliance that was ranked number 2 at that time. I was still too weak to seriously attack a base with flags. But there was this level 1 base with flags and 6 defense towers only, directly next to my home base. I could not resist. If my opponents are offline, it could work. The base seemed to be unprotected and inactive. The best level 1 base killer a home base can build is the Karas bomber. It does not take long to build as many as my tiny group limit allowed me to build. When I attacked, I was surprised that the attacked base was adding another defense tower and some anti-air was there. I should have scouted again. Now I'm not prepared well, but as the great units from the home base are extremely cheap, it isn't that much of a problem to lose these. So I decided to continue the attack. I only had a single IL-2 as I wanted to use most of my still tiny group limit for bombers. It took long for that IL-2 to destroy the M19 air defense tanks, but it worked. In this early phase of the game, these air defense tanks simply were too weak, which was changed later. With flags, even level 1 defense towers are a challenge. It took like forever to remove a single defense tower. When I finally managed to reduce the number of defense towers to 4, they came with gladiators and Karas bombers. The bombers cannot hurt my planes, but gladiators are fairly good against planes. Good that I had a group of mauls, as gladiators are extremely weak against ground units. My gladiators attacked the Karas bombers, my mauls attacked the gladiators. Quickly they disappeared again and I continued to attack the base. Then these Karas returned with some supporting M19. This was serious now. My single IL-2 destroyed some M19 until it was destroyed itself. It is hard to stop an attack when the opponent was already down to his very last defense tower. I needed some time to build more units in my home base. When I scouted again, the base had many defense towers, and PRIMOS had sent many groups to defend this base. There was absolutely no more hope to take that base. And so I decided to build many IL-2 instead and send them against these many groups in front of that base. At least I was able to destroy many of their groups, reducing the risk that they could decide to attack either my newly conquered base nearby or my home base. lost all my IL-2 and immediately started to build more. Every 2 minutes a new IL-2 came out of my home base, and instead of sending these to the base I attacked before, I attacked a group of Katyushas in front of another base in the center of the map. On my way back to my home base, the player Skelly came with many MiG planes, and the player Cornel wanted to destroy my IL-2 with his air combat planes. These are tough units, requiring a lot of military points. I managed to escape to my home base, adding the units I lost before. Now I knew that this no longer was a safe place for my planes. The PRIMOS player SPI had built some heavy tanks nearby, Centurions and T-28. I traded my group of IL-2 for his T-28, and of course I immediately built new IL-2 planes. I had upgraded the production facilities in all my bases to maximum level. That allowed me to build IL-2 simply from my regularly produced resources, making them virtually free of costs. I visited all neighboring bases until there were no more groups parking in front, because they got destroyed by my IL-2 or they moved them away to hide them far away. Then, by scouting, I saw that they were collecting more and more groups next to an isolated base that I had in the north. I was afraid that they might attack it. The best defense of an isolated base is attacking the attackers before they start. So I sent my IL-2 on a long flight to that base in the north and cleaned a bit what they had collected there. After I lost the first group, I sent a second, continuing where the first group ended before. After all groups of light tanks were destroyed, I targeted the T-28 tanks. My IL-2 are produced quickly with no resources. T-28 have long production times, consuming millions of resources. Therefore, I didn't care to lose wave after wave until everything was cleared. This night I was able to sleep calm, knowing it would take long for them to rebuild all this.